What's up, everybody? It's your boy Big O, and I am back in the building with yet another brand new video. Just like to take a second to say thank you to everyone who is tuning in. I hope all of you are having a glorious day. And since today was cleaning day, I decided to take all of the turtles out and do a full update for September 2019. I know I'm slightly late, it's almost the middle of the month, but not a problem. Getting right into it, if you look in this nest box and you take a peek under these leaves, you shall see my female subadult striped neck musk turtle. She's been hanging out here for quite some time. Out of all the larger of the musk turtles, well, the striped necks that I have anyway, she seems to be the most chill out of the three. And since I've been messing with her for the past couple of hours, I think I'm just gonna leave her be and not touch her anymore. Try to give you the best shot I possibly can from this angle. And she is barely even moving. But we're gonna leave her alone because she seems to be just hanging out right now. But if we take a look down here in this little box, we have the other two. The first thing I want you to notice is the difference in coloration on the carapace. The one on the right is the subadult male, which I got with the female that I just showed. And the one on the left is my adult female that I've had for the last 10 years. So first we're gonna go with her. Now, other than the sort of sandy coloration on her carapace, the other thing I want you to notice is the very pronounced keel that she happens to have on the carapace, which is something that the other two don't seem to have. Now, she is a lot older, so might possibly something that occurs with age, but it is a curious feature nonetheless, because I do have my own theories on why they have a difference. But when I do show the male, I'll talk about that in just a second. So like I said, these are my striped neck musk turtles, Stenotherus peltifer. Used to be recognized as a subspecies of the loggerhead musk, but now they are recognized as their own species. If I can just get some focus, there it is. Really like the pattern on the head and face of these guys. And as you can see, those stripes are where they get their name from. A lot of times they do tend to fade towards the base of the neck. But the female that's hanging out in the sandbox, I would show her off, like I said, but her stripes stay very bold. It's another thing that I wonder that if occurs with age or not, but we're just gonna go ahead and put her right there and see what she does. No, she might chill for just a second, so we're just gonna move on to the male. So, first thing you'll immediately notice is, like I said, the coloration. Whereas the previous female has more of a sandy color, this male and the first female that I showed seem to have more of a caramel coffee kind of coloration and a much less pronounced keel. It's there, it's slightly there, but you can barely see it. Now the person that I got these from, he's in Alabama, and the first thing I immediately thought when I unboxed them, which you can go back and check that video out, first thing I noticed is how flat they were. And knowing that the flattened musk, which is a Stenotherus depressus, comes from Alabama, first thing I thought of was the possibility of there being some sort of basically the possibility of this and the first female being some sort of hybrid between the two, or just them having some like small percentage of depresses DNA. Maybe it's just wishful thinking, but the difference is very noticeable. And again, these are very flat at the top of the carapace. So it just has me wondering. And as you can see, he's not very happy about what's going on right now. So we're gonna go ahead and put him in the sandbox. And I wanna move him very quickly because I don't wanna make this video too long. And he's ready to jump right in the water. Yep, off he goes. These two will probably hang out a little longer. But as I said, we're gonna keep things moving because we got a few more turtles to go. If I look in this box and I reach in, we will see my adult male Escambia map turtle. Grab Temmie's Ernsti. There's a little bit of algae growing on his shell on the carapace. He just went through a shed. He's looking really good. You see the oranges and the yellows, especially on the side, the head and neck. There's incredible coloration, beautiful pattern. And I've had this guy for quite some time too. I've had him for just about 10 years as well. Got him right after I got that, my adult female striped neck. And as I said, this is an Escambia map turtle. Grab Temmie's Ernsti. And he is just stunning. The camera will never do this guy justice. His colors are unbelievable. And he is by himself in this 40-gallon breeder. Well, technically he has a few fish living in there with him, but that's about it. Once again, get a really good look under the light. To show off how clean the plastron is. Has maybe 3 or 4 more scoots that need to be shed, but most of it's gone. And he always has really good sheds. So we're gonna go ahead and drop him in his enclosure and let him be. Oh, he's gonna crawl over. And then he's gonna freak out a little bit, which is pretty typical. After I handle them and put them back in the enclosure, they all tend to kind of freak out just a little bit because I rarely do handle them. Like I said, I was doing a full clean out, so I just had to take them all out and show them off a little bit. Now, if I turn around and come over here, we will see my 2 baby striped neck musk. In total, I have 5 striped necks. These as well have a much darker coloration than the oldest female. And these babies, which I got about 6 months ago, came from the same individual that I got my subadults. And all 4 of them do look very similar. The one on the left is a little bit smaller. When they arrived, they're both about the same size, but this one right here on the right has definitely grown a little more. Not sure what that's about. At first I thought that the smaller one was kind of getting bullied and not eating enough, but upon further inspection, as you can see right there, he has bulging rolls coming out of his shell, so I'm definitely not worried about him not eating. Him, her, impossible to tell at this size, but I'm not worried about them not eating or being bullied or anything like that because they're both pretty chunky. It's probably just, you know, one is just naturally growing at a higher rate than the other. But they're doing really well. They are in this temporary setup down here under my 55-gallon. It's just a 27-gallon tote. Has 2 whisper filters in there doing the work. Got my basking bulb, UVB bulb, bunch of fake plants, driftwood, place for them to hide and climb on. We're just gonna put them on their basking spot and just kind of leave them alone. They'll jump in when they're ready. Moving right along, we have this little tank. And this is my adult male narrow bridge musk turtle. And as you can see, he's not very happy. But he is very healthy. He's very chunky. As you can see by the tail, it's definitely a male. And if you look at the side of their jaws, they have these little protrusions that look slightly like fangs, which is where they get the other common name, vampire musk turtles. This is Claudius angustatus. And as you can see, they do have a very narrow bridge, hence the name narrow bridge musk turtle. But I've had this guy for about 2 years now. Came to me as a sub-adult, and he was looking, he wasn't looking in that great of a shape, but we got him, we whipped him back into shape. And he's doing really well now. He's in this 55-gallon. Has his little shallow water platform, which he's always on. He sleeps here. He sleeps here. Hangs out here for most of the day when he's not being very active. I have the UVB bulb right over the shallow water platform because he's not much of a basker. Even though he has really nice basking area that I made. Got some tiles to kind of hold the heat. 100-watt basking bulb right here. This is a Zoom Med. All my basking bulbs are the Zoom Med baskers. And some driftwood. Decided to leave the substrate out of this particular enclosure because I'm just not trying to get any sand in the impeller of my FX6. I'll risk it with the Aqua Clear 110s, but not with the canisters. And like I said, want to move right along because definitely don't want to make this video too long. So yeah, as soon as it hits the water, he calms right down. But when I let him go, he's probably gonna go a little bit crazy. Let's see what happens. Yep, there he goes. Yeah, not as bad as I thought. But there he is, my adult male narrow bridge musk turtle. Moving right along, if we go ahead and walk to the other side of the room. In this bin, oops, I have my adult. Always want to approach him from behind, but I have my adult female Pacific Coast giant Mexican musk turtle. Now these have a few different common names: Pacific Coast giant Mexican musk, Chiapas Mexican musk, so on and so forth. But scientific name is Stereotypus salvinii, and she is just an ox of a turtle. Approaching 7 inches right now. I don't know how well you can tell that from the way I hold her, but she's pretty big. Her carapace used to be completely dark, like the way it is up here at the top. If I can move back here, get a little bit of lighting. But it's gradually been lightening, and there's just a few scoots left with the dark coloration. I'm not sure what that's about, but I like the way it looks now. The two-tone looks pretty cool like that. But, you know, whatever. And as you can see, she's thrilled about being handled right now. It's really all a bluff. She never actually strikes. I've had this girl for quite some time, ever since she was a hatchling. It's been about 8, 9 years now. And she's, at the moment, the largest turtle that I have. Don't expect her to get too much bigger, maybe 7.5 inches. I have heard that they can approach sizes of 10 inches, but I really don't think that that's very common. But she's really, really heavy for her size. And strong as a bull. And if she were to ever get you with those jaws, it is going to hurt. Probably gonna make you bleed a little bit. Nothing too severe, but it's definitely something that you would like to avoid. So again, this is my adult female Pacific Coast giant Mexican musk turtle. Second largest musk turtle species pretty much on the planet. The largest species is Stereotypus triplicatus. I've heard people pronounce it Trapecatus. Either or. No, they do look very similar, but the triplicatus get much bigger, sort of comparable to a mid-sized adult snapping turtle, I would say. And as I said, it's more of a bluff than anything else. She calms right down. If I mess with her a little bit, she'll open her mouth again, see? But it's never, she never actually strikes. She just kind of sits there with her mouth open. Doesn't really fuss too much, doesn't try to like wrestle her way out of my hand. Just kind of sits there, patiently waiting for me to slip up and get caught up in those jaws. But yeah, she is in this 75-gallon. It is, like all my other enclosures, filled all the way to the top. I have my custom egg crate basking platform, which surprisingly enough, she uses quite frequently. A lot of people would say that these turtles aren't very big baskers, and I've seen a lot of people who keep them, they don't even, supply the turtle with a place to bask because of the belief that they won't use the basking area. But this girl right here is a testament to the fact that they do bask quite frequently if you give them the opportunity to do so. So I'm sure she's over me messing with it too much, so I'm gonna go ahead and place her back in her enclosure. You want to be careful when you're putting a turtle back in the water that you don't just drop them right in, because there is a possibility of them not being able to get a breath very quickly enough, and they can have complications, even drown. So you want to, like I've been doing, you want to either put them on their basking area and let them kind of go into the water on their own, or you want to just slowly introduce them into the water so they can just get prepared and kind of let them swim out of your hand. And she just splashed me and made a complete mess. That's okay. It's a little dark back here, but I'm gonna try to get some shots of her swimming in her tank. And out of all my turtles, this is probably the one that I handle the most, so she tends to kind of be pretty calm when I put her back into the water. Back up, get a good shot of the whole enclosure. And as you can see, she is just chilling, doing just fine. She's just gonna hunker down into her little hiding spot back there. That's her spot back there. You can't really see anything that's going on, but maybe we can get a shot from this side. Nah, it's just way too dark. It's already nighttime outside, so I'm not getting any more light from the windows. But those are all my 8 turtles that I currently own. 5 enclosures, 8 turtles, 4 species. Yeah, that's pretty much it. As you can see, this female's still hanging out in the sandbox. She really enjoys it up here. Sometimes you will find her kind of sleeping up here at night. So she's probably gonna be here for quite some time. Get one more shot of the map turtle. And he still seems to be in freak out mode. Alright, so we're gonna get all these enclosures covered up. I'm gonna turn these lights off. Even though they are on automatic timers, I kept them on just so I can make this video. But just like that, he kind of just disappears. It's always crazy to me how in such a small enclosure, you can have a really difficult time trying to find the animal in there. And there he goes, he just popped up out of nowhere. And that's what you want. If you do it right, you give them plenty of places to hang out and hide from you so they can feel secure, especially since these turtles are in my living room and I'm always walking back and forth. So I've definitely found ways of dealing with that. There's the adult female striped neck. And here is the male, who's always in his little log. It's funny to think he doesn't really allow the other females to kind of hang out in here. I find that to be pretty funny. If we turn around and get one more shot of the 55 with this madman, and you can see, might have to put this guy on the diet because he has just all that chunk just bulging out. But at the risk of making this video a little too long, we're gonna go ahead and bring this one to a close. You already know, like, subscribe, hit that thumbs up, share. If you want to check me out on Instagram, get a closer look at what it is I'm doing with my little guys, it's at the turtle essence _ in between the turtle and essence. And until the next time, happy reptile keeping. Peace.